My grandma was turning 90 in the ICU while I was reading a study saying we could make her cells 30 again. The doctors had given up. The science said otherwise. I had to choose which story to believe before midnight. This wasn't a pill or cream, it's a genetic time machine that turns skin cells into baby cells, and if you get the dose wrong by 3 days, it grows tumors in your liver. I first learned about it on TikTok, but I had to know the truth. 3 weeks ago, in a cold Ohio hospital room, my family was saying goodbye. Grandma couldn't remember my name, her heart was failing, and I found a paper from Korean scientists showing how to rewind aging without turning you into a cancer factory. The problem? What saves your eyes could kill your heart. I had one chance to understand why. The nurse said, "You should call everyone." That's when I stopped listening to the doctors and started listening to the mice. Let me back up. 6 months ago, Grandma was gardening, making her terrible meatballs, forgetting where she put her car keys, but sure, that's just 89. Then she started forgetting how to get home from the grocery store 2 blocks away. Her hands shook so bad she couldn't hold a teacup. The woman who taught me how to ride a bike couldn't stand up from her chair. My mom cried every night. My dad built a wheelchair ramp he swore we wouldn't need. I did what anyone would do. I Googled how to stop aging at 2 a.m. I fell into a rabbit hole deeper than any conspiracy theory. Real scientists, real studies, not magic, but molecular biology that sounds like it. There's this guy, Yamanaka, won a Nobel Prize, discovered 4 genes, 4 tiny switches that can turn any cell in your body back into a stem cell, a baby cell that doesn't know it's old yet. The headline screamed, "Scientists reverse aging," but buried in the footnotes I found the truth, and the truth is messy. Subscribe to our channel before watching the rest of the video. Picture your body like a city. Each cell is a building. Over time, the buildings get graffiti on their instructions, the epigenetic marks telling them how to be a heart or brain cell. Yamanaka's 4 factors, scientists call them OSKM, wash that graffiti off. Make the instructions new again. Sounds perfect, right? Here's the contradiction that kept me awake. The process that makes a heart cell young again can turn your liver into a tumor in 14 days. The paper I was reading mapped it. They tested this in thousands of mice. Some got younger, fur grew back thick, hearts healed, eyesight improved. Other mice didn't. They grew teratomas. When I say tumor, you think lump. A teratoma is a biological horror movie. Confused cells start trying to build a whole new body inside the organ. In the study, they cut open the livers of these mice and found teeth, fully formed molars, inside the liver. Patches of hair growing on heart valves and eye forming in the stomach. This happens when you turn back time without a speed limit. Same treatment, opposite results. Why? Because your body isn't one thing, it's a neighborhood where every house follows different rules. The retina, it's a gated community. Scientists injected 3 of 4 factors minus the cancer-causing M, CMYC, directly into mouse eyes. Blind mice saw again. The biological clock reversed 20 months, no tumors. But the heart is stubborn. Adult heart cells are like grumpy old men who refuse to learn. To make them young, you need 5 times the normal dose, but leave it on for 7 weeks and the heart cells forget what they are and become everything at once. The liver is even worse. It's the superhero organ that regenerates naturally, but hit it with OSKM for 1 day and it starts to de-differentiate. It turns into a confused teenager cell that doesn't know its job. If you don't control it perfectly, the liver just stops being a liver. My grandma's heart was failing. Her liver was swollen. Her brain was disappearing behind a fog. She didn't have one broken part. She had all of them. The researchers created a map showing that every organ has a different reprogramming competence. The intestine, party animal, highly reprogrammable, but too much kills it. The brain, shy, needs months of coaxing. The muscles, they'll play along, but only if you time it perfectly. 2 days treatment, 5 days rest. I printed the study, brought it to her doctor. He sighed, "That's mouse research. Your grandmother is human. We're not there yet." But we are, for some things. A Japanese company has started human trials for age-related blindness. They inject factors directly into the eye. No systemic exposure, no whole-body chaos. But Grandma needed whole-body repair. I called a researcher, not the Korean team, but a guy at a US biotech company. He spoke in whispers. "We're doing cyclic induction in primates now," he said. 2 days on, 5 days off. For months, it's working, but we can't publish it yet. The FDA won't touch this because the safety margin is zero. They're terrified that people will try this at home. They'll think that more is better and die in their living rooms. He told me about the information theory of aging. Aging isn't completely about damage, it's about information loss. Cells lose the instruction manual. The Yamanaka Factors can reprint the manual, but sometimes they print too many copies, and the cell panics. The night before her 90th, she was rushed to the ICU. Blue alarms, running nurses. My family wept while I sat in the corner with a highlighter marking the study. The paper said cyclic induction 2 days on and 5 days off, significantly extended lifespan without teratoma formation. No teratomas, no tumors. But it also said, continuous induction produces teratomas in multiple organs. Translation, get greedy and you die. I watched her sleep. The ventilator hissed. Her skin was paper thin. I wanted to scream at the scientist, "Why can't you just fix her?" But the paper answered that. It comes down to spatio-temporal control. We need to control exactly where the factors go and exactly when they turn on and off. We can do that in a genetically engineered mouse. We can't do that in a human with a pill. Not yet. My grandmother's body was a locked door and I had the key, but the key could burn the house down. The biotech guy told me, "We're 5 years from human trials for systemic treatment, unless someone gets reckless." Reckless meant black market gene therapy. Reckless meant death. I sat there with a credit card. There are websites, sketchy ones, selling peptides and chemicals mimicking these factors. It was in the shopping cart. I was desperate enough to click buy. But then I reread the Korean data on the liver. If I clicked buy, I wasn't saving her. I was playing Russian roulette with a fully loaded gun. I needed a way to trigger the effect without the chaos of the chemical. That's when I found the second protocol. The paper explained the body has a natural version of this called autophagy, or self-eating. It's how cells clean junk. Think of the Yamanaka Factors as a megaphone shouting at the cells to grow young. It's loud, effective, and dangerous. But science tells us cells also whisper. Mechanical stress, like walking, and caloric restriction, like fasting, don't rewrite DNA like Yamanaka Factors, but they clear the noise, preventing the DNA from being read. We weren't rewriting the book, we were wiping dust off the pages. I made a decision. I wouldn't inject the experimental chemical, but I would aggressively change the inputs. I spoke to her physical therapist. We need to wake her up. We focused on hormesis. I know, I wanted the sci-fi injection, but since I couldn't rewrite the code, I decided to clean the machine. Hormesis is the Goldilocks zone of stress. Too much kills the cell, too little lets it decay. The right amount tells the DNA, we are still in the game, repair yourself. We worked with a nutritionist to cut sugar gumming up her proteins. We introduced NAD+ precursors and high-dose food antioxidants, not to cure aging, but to lower background noise so her body could hear its own signals. We focused on precision nutrition to trigger autophagy, giving digestion a break so cells could switch from growth mode to repair mode. And the walking, we pushed past easy. I held her arm. We walked to the driveway, the mailbox, the corner. The mechanical stress on her bones sent a signal louder than many drugs. I am still using this machinery. Do not scrap it yet. Hormesis isn't a time machine like the factors. It won't rebuild walls, but it clears rubble so cells can work. You can't jog your way back to 20, but the paper showed the body's natural repair systems use similar pathways. The factors shout the command. Our protocol whispered it. She didn't get any younger. Her gray hair didn't turn brown, but the fog lifted. My grandmother lived another 8 months, not years, but she held my daughter, her great-granddaughter, for the first time. She smiled. She knew us. On her last good day, she asked what I was reading. I showed her the paper. She touched the words epigenetic remodeling and said, "That sounds expensive." We laughed. We didn't get the Benjamin Button miracle. She didn't turn 30, but remember the trade-off? What saves the eyes kills the heart? We found the middle path. We saved her vision, her ability to see us, know us without stopping her heart. She died at home. But for 8 months, the fog was gone. And in a world where we lose people by inches, getting those 8 months back felt like stealing time from death itself. Here's what the headlines won't tell you. Systemic rejuvenation isn't ready. The science makes it explicit. Prolonged expression pushes cells toward markers like NANOG and Lin28. That creates blank slate cells. Blank slates in a dish are therapy. Blank slates in your body are death. The safe zone is partial reprogramming, turning factors on just long enough to clean the graffiti, but not long enough to erase the building's address. That takes months of precision. In mice, they control it with doxycycline. In humans, we'd need a genetic switch installed before birth. We don't have that. But the research ends with a promise. Future efforts should prioritize safer alternatives such as small molecules. Translation? Pills may be coming. So can we reverse aging? Cyclic partial reprogramming delivered precisely is real. It works. But if you're waiting for a whole body pill, you're waiting for a miracle science hasn't solved yet. For now, we do it the hard way. We are the maintenance crew keeping the building standing until the architects arrive with the blueprints for the renovation. Science is building the time machine. But until it arrives, how well are you treating the passenger? Press the subscribe button and hit the bell icon so you don't miss the next video.